the hang time on group.
What up, Bulls Nation? We've got live CHGO Bulls postgame coming up right around the corner. The Bulls drop a heartbreaker to start their 3-game trip out west. 150-147, double OT loss to the Utah Jazz. Coby White looked great in his return. Lauri Markkanen is really freaking good. We'll break it all down next.
False.
What's going on, Bulls Nation? We are here, CHGO Bulls postgame, coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. CHGO Bulls postgame presented by Michelob Ultra and Bet365. The delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra and download the Bet365 app. Use promo code CHGO365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Oh boy, I'm Peck, Bulls _ Peck. That's Big Day. Bam. THWL Sports, Will the Go Gottlieb, Will _ Gottlieb. And hanging out with us on the controls tonight, it's our pal Sean Anderson. What up, Sean?
Score bug.
Aren't you so happy to watch double OT Bulls basketball on a Sunday night?
Do I have to say yes?
You can say whatever you want to, but as long as it's a yes.
I mean, not the result we wanted, but damn, an entertaining game.
It was entertaining.
I mean,
I was entertained.
2 OTs, back and forth,
Where do
back
we even
and forth.
start with this? It's
Well, I know where I'm
truly,
so
like I feel like the last, like the back end of the fourth quarter and those overtimes was just one long fever dream. Thank you for joining us, Bulls Nation, late on a Sunday night. The true diehards hanging out in the chat. Appreciate you. Hit the like button. Let us know you're here. We are here for one another to try and digest that really tough result. So, I mean, do we want to start with the good, positive news?
Yes.
That Coby White came back.
He did.
His much anticipated return, his first action of the season, dealing with that calf strain. And so much for that 20 to 24 minutes restriction as Billy sent him out there after he met that limit at the end of the fourth. But there was more basketball to be played, Dave.
Billy. It's like when you're watching those shows of when they're like have something that feels like it's just shaking and about to blow, and they're like, "Sir, Captain, it's in the red. It can't go any further." And he pushes that dude out the way, and he throws all the levers up to maximum. He's more. I want more. That's what you saw tonight from Billy Donovan with Coby White. But to Coby's credit, he wanted to be out there and he was ready to go. I mean, we saw no ailments from him at all. From the moment he walked in, he got the basketball and he attempted and made a 3-point shot immediately. And we saw him be super aggressive. 14 of 14 from the free throw line was one Alec Jacoby White, all right? Finished with 27. He was 5 of 14 from the field. Again, we expected him to struggle. We expected the shot to be right there. But this is also the transcendence and the growth of Coby White is I know if my shot isn't there, I can still get to the free throw line and help this team in another way, and that's in scoring another way, I should say, and then still being clutch when it's time to be clutch. Like they needed the bucket at the end of one of those regulations. They needed a bucket, and Coby White with the tough layup over Lauri. How about Coby White with the pump fake, jumping into the play and drawing the foul, and that way getting that score tied up. I mean, he was just clutch, man. He was clutch. And there are so many games we could point to previous to this one where you're just like, even in wins, where you're just like, oh, man, I know where Coby fits in here. I know where Coby needs to be on this one. And you saw it tonight, and he was there for them, but the Bulls just couldn't get it done because my sweet special boy, Lauri Markkanen, lost his mind tonight. But Coby White, happy he's back. Probably won't see him tomorrow.
I would guess not.
Yeah, it's a safe bet that we won't see him tomorrow. But was happy to see him out there, Goat, and to see him out there with no limitations in his game.
Yeah, Goat, you've been looking through a closer lens than the rest of us as far as Coby's long journey of dealing with this calf strain. Missed all of training camp, missed all of preseason, and missed their first 11 games. from your vantage point, from what you had been hearing from Coby, talking through this long recovery timeline to what you saw tonight, what was your impression?
I think in terms of like his conditioning, it seems like he's really been able to keep that up. I don't really feel like this is a situation where they certainly didn't rush him back, right? Like I think he was playing a lot of basketball recently. He said he's been running a lot, and they were operating out of an abundance of caution of like, we don't want him to get re-injured. And so when they started to ramp him up right before the start of the season, right at the end of preseason, where there was some thought he was going to play in that final preseason game, and he just felt some tightness there. They continued to say that it wasn't a setback. I think it was pretty clearly a setback. But he I think he was in good condition. He was like in touch with the game, I felt like, but it just like the speed of an NBA game, especially at altitude, especially in double overtime.
Good point.
That's going to be a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
First possession of the game, he came in, baseline out of bounds play, came off his curl and hit a 3 in the corner. That was great to see. And then I feel like there were a couple of times where he looked a little bit maybe like he was still finding his footing. Like there was that one where he kind of pulled up in, I can't remember if it was transition or just kind of like a broken play, but he took like a 21-foot jump shot from the top of the key with like 1 foot fully into the 3-point line. Like that's just not something that he's typically very good about, keeping his footwork into those value spots on the floor. And obviously that's not one of them. And then there were a couple where he kind of like tried to draw contact, wasn't really quite able to get it. But I mean, to his credit, he just was downhill every single time. You guys mentioned the 14 free throws. That's like incredible stuff. And I was saying to you guys during the game, if that's like real, even if it's like 7, 8, 9 free throws a game, that puts him in a different stratosphere as a player.
Different tax bracket. Yes.
Where you can shoot 5 of 14 and still have an incredibly efficient scoring night because you're 14 of 14 at the line. So really good to see him. He obviously hit the game tying shot to send it to double overtime. I thought it was interesting that they went to Giddey in the final possession of regulation in a screen action with Kevin Huerter, and Coby was spacing. I feel like that's kind of the one. I don't really feel like there's any concern about like, is Coby going to be able to reintegrate? Is there any friction between those two guys? I'm not worried about that, but I do think the spacing element is something that Billy's going to have to work through. And I think you kind of saw there, all right, we're going to try to give it to Giddey there and see if he can create. That's not really his bread and butter, creating against a set defense in the half court without an advantage. That's where he struggles. And so from there on out, it was Coby. And to his credit, he really made some tough shots and
he did.
Kept that game alive as long as he possibly could.
30 minutes for him tonight, man. That's more than anybody off the Bulls bench. Ayo Dosunmu had 26 minutes, but 30 big minutes for that young man, for a guy, man, who was only supposed to play at max 24.
Yeah. Thank you for hanging out with us in the chat, Bulls Nation. Keep the comments coming. We'll get to as many as we can. David E. Oman saying, we have 9 to 10 good players. Why are we not full court pressing when they have no real point guards? Meanwhile, DLawso23 saying the defense by committee isn't working on opposing big men. Liam saying when Keyonte George has 33 points, we have to sit down and have a word about our defense. Okay, so 3 different thoughts there about 3 different players. The full court press question is an interesting one, but I just don't know if that's within this Bulls personnel's wherewithal.
I hear you.
I really don't. As far as I saw somebody else, there's a lot of Okoro slander in the chat, and somebody said Okoro having failing to guard 7-footers is not Okoro's fault.
For real.
That's a coaching problem. Could also be a roster construction problem.
Yes, correct.
Assessment.
Yeah, I mean, like the Bulls, we know that the Bulls are not as good of a defensive team as the very early return numbers would suggest. Their opponents were missing a lot of open looks. And like the Bulls chasing their opponents off the 3-point line works to a point, but we know that more often than not they're going to get exposed in the paint. And look, also Keyonte George, no scrub,
none.
Like that dude is really a walking bucket. When you have that and you have Lauri Markkanen, I mean, hell, speaking of big men, even Filipowski. I think he only had like 8 or 10 points, but he just used his size
sure did.
to get good buckets and good looks tonight. And the Bulls defense is just. The Bulls defense is bad. I don't know how they fix it. Okoro, I think, was a team worst minus 15 tonight.
Correct.
5 points. Just, I don't know. And I see, of course, people in the chat talking about Billy and who he chose to play late in this game.
But and just real quick to the point about Keyonte George, it's the same thing I just talked, or Goat just also said about Coby. He was 10 of 27 from the field. He was 11 of 12 from the free throw line. You get to the line, it changes things. You know what I mean? Some guy, you're not going to shoot great every single game, but you can still put up big number point games by simply drawing those fouls and getting to the line. So that keeps you fresh and in rhythm. So when it comes down time to that money time, when you got to have it, guys are, ready to score. Like you saw Coby, again, ready to score, and you saw Keyonte George, cash money is an army.
He's averaging 21.7 assists this year. He's not an efficient player, but he's putting up some numbers. And
Buckets.
This Jazz team is like, what are they, 5-8 now? Like, they're not a good team, but they're not just like the Nets or the Wizards or something, like 1-10 at the bottom.
And
it's the Western, exactly. It's the Western Conference. So they are playing a lot better. I think Will Hardy is doing a good job coaching them up. I had to do it. Sorry, Dave.
I know. No, I was waiting for it. Are you kidding me?
He coached the game, but also I think the numbers are a little bit skewed by the fact that they played in 2 overtimes. The Bulls' defensive rating in this game was 121.6. That's not good. That would be like bottom 5 numbers, but it's not like it doesn't look as bad as giving up 150 points in a game.
Right. Yeah.
Correct.
They only gave up like 130 in regulation or whatever it was.
Yeah, man. But dude, I just really, 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 really like what I saw from Coby. I was worried about him coming out somewhat timid, because you haven't played in a while. It's been some months, since he's played. And we hear that word ramping up, and of course we get terrified and we throw hats and break TVs. And we get upset about that. And just seeing him come out there and holding nothing back just was like, I saw that and I said, oh, he's not coming off the bench next game. That was my very first thought. He's not coming off the bench next game. He's going to be in there in the starting lineup. And I don't mean the next game in Denver. I mean the next one he plays. He is going to be in that lineup, man, especially with Trey Jones being day-to-day, and we don't know if he's going to be out there like that. When you got Coby playing 30 minutes when he's supposed to play 24 and being super productive in those minutes, and is the reason you were in those games in the overtime. Twice he was the reason that you were in those games. One, he hits the layup to tie it. The other one, he hits the 2 free throws after drawing the foul. So he was a huge reason why you had a chance to win that game. That's not coming off the bench. That's something you're going to put in the starting lineup and say, okay, I want to see Giddey and Coby together how we wanted to see it before the season started. Let those guys continue their chemistry that we saw in that second half of the season. But yeah, man, like if it wasn't their 5th loss, I'd be a little bit more excited about Coby and what I saw. But it's the fact that it's their 5th loss, man. It's like, damn, five straight after after winning those 5 straight that we saw.
Right.
It's kind of balancing out, as Matt Peck talked about. It's kind of balancing out right here for this team, man. But I don't think we thought it would start tonight. But we knew if it did start tonight, oh boy.
Well, and tonight being the best opportunity to get a win, if not multiple, on this 3-game trip, because now you're looking at Denver on the second night of a back-to-back, and then you got to go play Portland, who is a respectable, similar with Utah. Like, their record ain't great, but they're playing in the West, and they're playing respectable ball, and that's your 3rd game in 4 nights. Tonight was the night with opponent and situationally to get your best shot at a dub. And now you just exhausted yourself playing 2 OTs on the front end of a back-to-back. But going back down to late-game execution, because I think that is a lot of what people want to talk about tonight in a 2 OT thriller. South MU in the chat saying, speaking of Giddey at the end of the regulation shot, why are my 2 bigs, Vooch and Buzelis, in the corners for that shot? Billy Donovan is god-awful situationally. And then BT Robinson chimed in the chat at South MU to open the lane. Maybe worth pointing out that in the miraculous comeback victory against the Sixers, which feels like a lifetime ago, it was a Giddey drive and dish to what? A Vooch corner 3.
It's correct.
Yeah. The floor spacing piece is huge there too. Like the action that they ran was basically they were trying to figure out who was going to switch. It was Herter and I think it was Modest on the strong side, and they were trying to figure out the pre-switching action that the Jazz were going with. Herter comes up, sets a screen, slips out of it, and that gave Giddey the runway. But you want to have good shooters on the weak side. The problem is when they're that bunched together, 2 guys can guard 3 people, or 1 guy can guard 2, and so the help was able to come. But I do think that was probably the right, maybe not play call, because I probably would have put the ball in Coby's hands. But it's just tough with Giddey out there. Like, you want him to be the one that's making plays. You want him to be the one that's facilitating. But in against a set defense, half-court situation, that's just not where he's best. But then if you're putting him off the ball, that's where it's like, okay, should you just take him out of the game at that point? And frankly, I think that might be a solution that Billy has to go to in future games if that's going to be the way that they run it.
Chicago Bulls all day in the chat saying, yeah, Giddey should have passed on that play. Look, Giddey in 2 different late game scenarios got to the rim and got a good look.
Yes, he did.
He just missed 2 layups.
He did.
It happens. I'm not blaming Josh for that.
No, I think it was a fine look.
I think he got the look he wanted. Just didn't go down.
Yeah.
It happens.
It happens,
It's
man.
a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda when you're talking about an L instead of a W.
Yeah.
But it's like, look, Giddey got the penetration that we have seen him be capable of getting with his patented little spin move down the lane.
Craggy.
And he just missed 2 bunnies.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
We got to knock out our first break right there. We'll come back. Still plenty more to dive into from tonight's game. Let us know what you want to talk about in that chat. Throw us a super chat if you're feeling happy and generous tonight despite the outcome. Hit the like while you listen to our words from our friends and sponsors. Tonight's show brought to you by Circa Sportsbook. Whatever the sport, the app to bet is Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports is sports betting the way it should be. Circa Sports Illinois has high betting limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service featuring real human beings with mouths and brains to talk to. Not the fake brains that are slowly taking over the world. Human brains.
Humans.
You can find those when you need help
10%.
at Circa Sportsbook. Bet on all your favorite teams in every game this season. We are in the throes of football season, college and pros. Basketball's here. Hockey's here. Is the best time of year to be a sports fan and a sports bettor. Spreads, futures, props, in-game betting. Circa Sports has it for you.
Yeah.
So what are you waiting for? Fun to bet like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois by downloading your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And if you need a call, you call my man Ray. Ray, Chrysler Dodge Jeep at the Ram. And this is your last chance to score a great deal at the Black Friday sales event. So head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 today and choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram vehicles. And right now, you get 0% financing for 60 months on all new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L models or up to $10,000 off MSRP. Plus, you can shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000 because they got that Ray CDJR shopping experience down pat because you know they're going to prioritize affordability and you won't overpay for the vehicle that you need. Go check out our partner today and shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventories. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Don't miss out on our Black Friday sales event for huge savings on new models. For more information, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 19. Ray. What's wrong with me?
We back. CHGO Bulls post game rolling along late on Sunday night. Thanks for hanging out with us late for this one. It's a good warm up for 8 p.m. tip tomorrow and then 9 p.m. tip on Wednesday. It is time, Bulls Nation, now to take the temp. Taking the temp is brought to you by our friends at Four Seasons. Your trusted local experts are Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit FourSeasonsHeatingCooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's FourSeasonsHeatingCooling.com. All right, Sean, you know what? Let's take the temp of that Bulls chat. Shout out some super chats. What's on Bulls fans' minds after that one?
Jashish 4K $5 super chat. Pathetic team, pathetic coaching, pathetic defense, pathetic lineups and schemes. 5-0 to 6-6. Same Bulls team and franchise. Nothing has changed.
Wow.
Josh Sheets
That's
Taking the champ.
aggressive swing of we're 5-0, we're 6-1. Also, not to nitpick, but pathetic lineups and schemes kind of seems redundant to your pathetic coaching. Seems kind of like you're piling on there. Somebody's upset with Billy Donovan tonight. What a shocker.
He's upset.
All right, what else we got, Sean?
We have NJ Hawk 40 with another $5 super chat. The Bulls don't know how to win games. Team defense is so bad. Why can't we stay with our man instead of switching, not taking on screens? Terrible.
Because they don't have a lot of very gifted defensive players.
Well, also, switching is a huge part of their scheme.
Switch
And
a lot.
I think that's like a big thing in today's NBA to try to prevent drives, right? If you're constantly trying to fight over a screen, think about like a ball handler using a screen, getting you on their hip. They've got a runway to the rim, and they've also got an advantage. They're playing 5-on-4. And so switching is a huge way to mitigate that. It does lead in a lot of times to pull-up threes, which is why those are up across the league. But I don't think that in and of itself is a bad thing. I think that the Bulls' personnel is just not a really highly effective defensive team that can give a lot of resistance there. And so they do end up giving a lot of those runways. But to me, that's like a personnel issue, not necessarily. And the Bulls are doing, I think, a lot to try to offset that as much as they can. It's just tough. And like you bring in Okoro and he's trying to set the tone there, but it's like you can't guard every single ball screen that's happening on the court. You like put him on a guy and you try to slow him down. Yeah. But we all know how it goes in the NBA. Like you can't stop these guys. You can't turn off Lauri Markkanen for one night. He's going to score. So how do you just make it harder for him? And I think to say switching everything is bad, the defense, like they're working incredibly hard to try to mitigate these things. But at the end of the day, NBA players are just really good, especially the really good ones.
Yeah. And yes. And I'm not saying this about you, but sometimes people, when they look at things, they look at it from like a 2K view. And this is just my opinion on it. And it feels like when you can say those kind of things, like, oh, man, all I got to do is move this guy to this guy, and then he'll be stopped. And it's like, no, bro, they pay him millions of dollars too, like, to get this. Matter of fact, he's paid more than that person that you're talking about needs to stop him. There's a reason that these guys are in the league, man. Like, on any given night, like, a guy can go crazy on you. Like, we've seen that before as Bulls fans on our side, where it was great to sit there and watch those kind of things happen, man. We've seen it before. But then there are guys who are all-stars and clear all-star starters that you can't just say, oh, I'm going to switch this guy on him and that's it for him. No, there's a reason Lauri's 7 feet tall and super athletic and can shoot a three and can get inside and bully you and do all these incredible things. That's how you end up with 45 points. Like, these guys are incredibly, incredibly skilled out there, man. And it's not just a simple switch that you can put on them. It could be like that in the playoffs when you're playing some other team that's kind of on your same level and stuff. But at the majority of the time, man, great players are going to be great players, man. That's just kind of how it happens like that.
The other thing I would just add to that quickly is it's not – because you bring up a good point about, like, the moving assignments around. And I don't think it's ever quite so simple as my one guy is going to guard your one guy. Yeah. And then that's going to happen 5 times across the court. And everything is in isolation. Like, there's so much interplay between these players, screening actions, getting over screens, screening away from the ball. There's just all this stuff going on. And I do think the Bulls need to be a lot better in terms of resistance. Like, that needs to be a point of emphasis. Sure. I know it has been, just talking to Billy, talking to the players all year. That's like, they all know that. They talk about it all the time. But at a certain point, it's like, you can only do what your personnel allows you to do. And so if becoming a better defensive team is important, then you have to go out and get better defensive players. I think that was what the Okoro acquisition was supposed to be about. But even when you get one good defensive player, he's not going to completely transform. It's not the same as, like, let's go get Kevin Durant and now we are going to be elite at shot creation in the half court. It doesn't really work that way in the same way on the defensive side. And so you need to, one, bring those players along, develop them, teach them how to be better defenders, but also maybe you have to go out and get some guys.
In the chat, Ryan Fraley saying, I'm not expecting this team to be elite defensively, but this ain't it, guys. Well, this is it as far as what we're seeing from this team defensively. Unless AK goes out there and makes a roster change or two, this is what we're working with, and we know it's not great. We don't have to like it. Also, shout out, I see our guy MK Hoops hanging out in the chat saying, switching? You mean a modern defensive principle that every team does? Blasphemy and outrage. Sean, did you have a thought?
No, I was just going to go back to taking the temp.
Take the temp. All right. What else we got in the super chat, baby?
Big T, one of 3 left. Big T 33, the last undefeated team in the East, now has the longest losing streak in the conference. The one and the only Chicago Bulls.
Okay, always shout out and respect to used only the one and only Chicago Bulls sarcastically. That got me through a lot of dark times. But
I was there.
Again, like, yes, they did have, they were the last undefeated team in the East. They do not have the longest losing streak. The Pacers have lost 7 straight, y'all. The Zards are on an 11-game losing streak. So don't you put that disrespect directly on the Bulls.
That's right.
They do not have the Eastern Conference's longest losing streak.
Right.
They are now,
not even current longest losing streak.
Boom.
They are now outside of the top 10 in the East, which is a change from where they were atop the East at this time a week ago.
That's what March and April are for.
Don't worry. Denver's up next.
Oh yeah. Hey, we're gonna be right where we want to be. What else we got, John?
AK.
What up, AK?
Suspicious. Tough loss. Bulls missed Trey Jones's on-ball D and high IQ. Too many mental errors. Nuggets up next to continue losing streak and drop in standings.
I do agree with that. I mean, you miss the guy who's leading the league in steals. like out there on the floor for you, man.
And one of the best assist to turnover ratios in the league.
Especially in the second half, he's that kind of guy. So yeah, you miss those kind of defensive players out there for you. So when you guys asking, for the defense and things like that, like, yeah, Trey Jones is a huge part of that, but you're still going to need more defenders and more guys willing to do that and play their part within that. Like you heard Stacey talking about on that last shot of Keyonte George that he hit. Man, he was talking about Patrick Williams, like coming out, he was like, switch. Like you come off that screen, he has to switch and he has to get up on him. And that's the stuff that you were just talking about, Go. Like, that's just a part of the defense that they play. They are always switching. Watch those games, man. Watch them like that. They are always switching. They switch every single thing. And it's not out of the ordinary, as you said. Like, everybody's doing it around the league. But it's hard. Like, and I get it. Like, you get to that fourth quarter, or you get to that overtime, and they're like, here goes our best. And you want to say, here goes our best. And put them on one-on-one. And let them go at it and do their thing. But it's really hard to stop if you don't have that kind of guy. And the Bulls have a good guy in Isaac Okoro like that. But, man, Lauri was eating his lunch, out there because he's 7 feet tall and huge. But also you saw those picks coming immediately when they got on him and those switches happening. I think about when LeBron is guarding somebody at the end of the game and they immediately run a switch. Like, nope, get up off him. Give me whoever else is coming in off this screen. J.R. Smith, cool. All right, we'll take that one. Mm-hmm. So it's like that, man. These teams are recognizing those things that the Bulls and other teams are trying to do when they want to run their best player at them. They immediately run that switch and run that screen. Bro.
Dave, you've already talked about Trey Jones kind of taking over that DeMar DeRozan salve, like calm possession that leads to a good look and a good bucket. Yeah. It was missed tonight. It sounds like it's just a day-to-day mild ankle injury. Who knows if we'll see him even out there as soon as tomorrow night, but definitely was missed. And talking about, protecting the ball in basketball IQ. The Bulls had 17 turnovers tonight to Utah's 9. They lost the points off turnovers battle. Josh Giddey had 6. Coby and Io combined for 6 more. Ooh. So you're talking about your 3 primary ball handlers combining for a dozen turnovers.
That's tough, man.
It's not great.
It's tough.
What else we got, Sean?
Final one. Craig Tennant, when do we get a 7-foot center? We traded one after the draft. Where was the logic in that decision?
And somebody else with a super chat. Appreciate you. I see the A in front of that $sign. One of the many Aussie members of Bulls Nation who are very upset about Rocco Zikarsky still.
Hey, Big Z.
Tell me what Rocco Zikarsky's up to right now. Is he getting big minutes, crunch time minutes for some other winning NBA team right now?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I have no idea.
I thought people liked Lachlan. I thought he was a big fan favorite.
Yeah.
Sure.
Lachlan
he started some action for Windy City.
Yeah.
The Bulls gave up 150 points tonight, but the Windy City Bulls scored 152 tonight. Earlier today.
Matt McClung,
shout out to them. But yeah, so I don't know if that was a comment in reference to because they were talking about trading, a 7-foot. Yeah, that's because the Bulls traded Rocco Zikarsky, aka just swapped draft rights. Mm-hmm.
They got some cash.
The Bulls need better rim protection. Yes. Was Rocco Zikarsky the specific answer? I'm not buying that.
How dare you?
One more super chat that was thrown our way from Mike Mills for $1.99. Appreciate you saying, can we challenge at least one call? I saw a few other people talking about Billy Donovan not using any challenges tonight in the chat. Couple times that maybe could have seen a challenge being useful.
Yes.
That late, I can't remember which OT it was or if it was late in the fourth. I think it was maybe first OT. That out of bounds. Mm-hmm. And they showed a slow-mo replay, and it very clearly seemed to look like it grazed Lauri Markkanen's arm.
Yes.
And he was the last player to touch it.
Yep.
And it was just like a jazz ball. Yeah. And I was like, but I think it's Bulls ball.
A challenge.
So that's one example of, maybe Billy challenges something.
Yeah, man. Can't take them with you, man. You gotta use them.
You can't. You cannot.
You gotta use them. They don't roll over.
It's rough. It's a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda on a night like this. Like, that's a winnable game.
You never want to play the woulda, coulda, shoulda game. That's never a fun game to play, especially after you lose. It's more fun to play after you win, like a Bears victory today. But yeah, man, like that's kind of what you look at though. Like it's a bunch of, oh man, if we did this, oh man, if you did that, it would have went this way or it could have went this way. Listen, I watched Lauri hit one of the most incredible shots, and I still don't know how he hit that shot.
That was utter nonsense.
You know what I mean? I watched Coby White take Lauri to the bucket. You know what I mean? And put a layup in, man. I saw some incredible things tonight in this game from both of these teams. So it was a fun game to watch. We
It
were on
wasn't
the wrong
like the
side
Pistons
of it.
game where it was like this was just a complete dud.
Right.
I think,
we
think they
weren't
played
on,
all right.
we were on the wrong side for sure.
Yeah.
But like you said, it wasn't a complete dud. Like, it was fun to sit there and watch. I'm up pacing, walking and yelling, doing my usual. I just didn't attack Sean this time with hugs and love. But I just really like enjoy watching these kind of games. Of course, I want to win them, but it's fun to sit there and watch this kind of stuff, man. But it does make me worried for tomorrow's game, and I am very concerned about tomorrow.
All right, we got to knock out our second ad break right there. When we come back, still more thoughts on tonight's game from us and from y'all in the chat. Thanks for being here. Hit the like button. Even though it's an L, the likes are free, and they spread positive vibes. Enjoy these words from our friends and sponsors. We'll be right back.
This is Baby Joey approved, ladies and gentlemen. See, that's Baby Joey right there. And one thing Baby Joey has done is jet set, been around the world doing a lot of things, but one thing he never understood. Never got it! Why? Why you gotta cost so much money to look so dang cool? Baby Joey didn't get it. We didn't get it. Shady Rays didn't get it. So they set out to do something about that, baby. They have got some seriously awesome sunglasses that are made for real life. They are seriously good looking, and they are polarized, durable, and not ridiculously expensive. And here's the awesome part. They got the matte Peck Lost and Broken Replacements playing. Oh, my glass was on that hat. Splat, drat, crack. Oh, but I put it back into the mailbox, and they're going to send me one back. Free pair back on my face. That's that shady wear. It's that bit eyewear protection plan. Ladies and gentlemen, they got your back from day one. And we've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com and use that code CHGO for 35% off those premium polarized shades. And try for yourself. The shades that are rated 5 stars over 300,000 people, because Shady Rays, y'all, but the Rays are oh so shady.
Today's show also brought to you by Eye on the Ball.
Right there.
Listen up, athletes. Here's a question. Are you serious about leveling up your game? Because the right coach can change everything.
True.
And now, finding one is easy with Eye on the Ball. It doesn't matter if you're just a kid starting out or competing at the top level. You can sign up totally free at eyeontheball.net. Create your profile, search through coaches in your sport, and connect directly with the one that's right for you. From soccer to swimming, baseball to basketball, you name it, the coaches are there.
Boom.
So what are you waiting for? Your future coach could be just one click away. You're Phil Jackson.
Oh.
You're Tom Thibodeau.
Oh.
Find him.
Ice.
Jump on today at eyeontheball.net. That's IEYE on the ball. BALL.net. Find your coach and take your game
Where?
to the next level.
Bow.
I see the logic in it, though.
Yes, I do too, but no.
Technically speaking, there's
Absolutely.
logic there.
No.
What up, Bulls Nation? We're back. CHGO Bulls post game late on Monday or Sunday night. We roll along. Thanks for being here. Just a quick reminder for those of you who aren't CHGO diehards already.
How dare you?
You're missing out, and you should fix that. We got a awesome promo going. That amazing sign-up offer, $36 for your first year with promo code GOAT to get all of GOAT's exclusive writing and content for our diehards only. Those instant game reactions are free and those are nice, but the deep dive stuff, the one-on-one stories, the pure GOAT analysis, that is for diehards only. And
Can I do a quick plug?
Yeah, sure.
Yesterday, I believe it was, I wrote a thing about the Bulls shooting like 40% as a team. And
From three.
From three.
Yes.
Correct. 40% from the field would not be so great.
No.
40% threes, pretty good. So I wrote about is that sustainable? How are they getting those shots? What's sort of the thinking from the coaching staff and the players behind that? Got some good insights from Billy, from Trey Jones, and Kevin Herter. So that's really good. And then a big Giddy feature is coming out at some point this week about him and the progress that he's making with some cool stuff about his new shoes. So check that out if you're interested. Become a diehard using that code GOAT.
GOAT. The best promo code ever.
It is.
GOAT.
It's the greatest of all time, you might even say.
That's right.
Oh, come on.
Flex. Thanks for being here, Bulls Nation. AK threw us another super chat. Appreciate you saying Bulls near top, giving up points in the paint with White, Giddy, Vooch, and Herter in the starting lineup. How do the Bulls not be bottom 5 in defense?
Well,
Some questions don't have very clear answers. You may have just answered your own question.
they are, over the last 7 games, during which time they are 1-6, they are 22nd in defense. So that's not good. Obviously, 19th on the year. That includes the obviously the 5-0 start. 22nd is bad, but I feel like the gap between 22nd and 30 is pretty big. I mean, 7 points per 100 possessions right now. I do think that they can be better than this. I think that there are things that they can do in terms of like resistance on drives that can just help them. But I mean, yeah, the Jazz made 18 threes at 37% rate. They got to the line 41 times. That is just not. They had 3 guys with double figures free throw attempts.
Jeez.
Lauri Markkanen's 13,
Crikey.
Keyonte George 12, and Isaiah Collier 11. I mean, that's just like, look, you're not going to win very many basketball games if you're giving up 150 points. Like, I don't care how many overtimes you go into. It's hard to win games like that. 41 free throw attempts. I would guess that that's a season high. I mean, that's a huge number. And that can't be a part of who they are, right? Like, we talked a lot about sort of the different levers that Billy has to pull in terms of what this team has to do in order to be successful. Winning the free throw battle is one thing, not fouling is another. Like, those, and they go hand in hand, obviously.
Yeah.
That just cannot, like, you can't be anywhere close to that and expect to win games.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true.
Few more people chiming in the chat. Chris Davis, 1945, saying the Bulls are who their record says they are. Stuck in the middle because of AK. Preach, Chris Davis. South MU. What really pisses me off was those 6 early wins sucked everybody in. Not everybody. And this franchise did not deserve that, SHIT, with how they conduct themselves.
Now, the fans deserve 6
Fans
wins.
deserve like the positive vibes of a 5-0 start and 6-1 with that incredible comeback against Philly.
We've been looking at like for these fans. Yes, we deserve 6-1.
Like, yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, come on. I thought the Bulls would be mid, somewhere between lower mid to mid this season.
Yeah.
And you know I love being right, but you know what I love more than being right? The Bulls actually being a good team to talk about.
That's actually true.
And it looked for
close.
a second like they might be. And look, there's still a lot of season left. We're 6-6 after a 5-0 start. That sucks.
Yeah.
There are so many games left to be played. This was Kobe's first game of the season. And he looked freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So there are still silver linings to the cloud that was tonight's game.
Yeah. What do you guys make of the 5-1 at home, 1-5 on the road split?
Oh,
speaking of AK,
don't I like it?
He's thrilled.
Yeah.
Got to protect home court. That was a goal he set for this team last season.
Right.
Didn't do it. They had a better record on the road than at home last year.
It's not
That's
what's going
bad.
on now. Yeah.
Despite all those sold out crowds at the Madhouse.
Yeah.
It's awesome that they're 5-1 at home.
Yeah.
But that being their road. Also, like, think about their road record opponents. You lost at Milwaukee. Giannis went nuts. Yep. You lost in Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell went nuts.
Knicks.
You know,
that's a tough split against, you know, playing them back-to-back
right,
games.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so their bad road loss now is Detroit.
Yeah.
Like, you can say that tonight's loss is a bad loss because they had plenty of opportunities to either keep the Jazz at bay and not let them back into the
They
game.
had a 15-point lead at one point.
In the fourth.
They
yeah.
did.
And then had multiple opportunities where the Jazz let the Bulls back in it in late fourth quarter, OT, double OT. But I still think that the Pistons loss is the worst loss of the season by far.
Oh, without a doubt.
So, like, yes, it's not great that their road record is off to such a bad start, but their road schedule has been brutally tough.
Yeah, it's been extra tough for them, man. And again, for them to come out and start as they did was amazing. And now it set expectations for them, which is why you see so many people disappointed, you know what I'm saying, as the way they have played this last 6 games. Now, they haven't played bad in all those games in those last 6. Some of them they just lost. Like you mentioned, the players that they lost to. Those are just great players being great players. But like you said, that Detroit loss, come on. And then in this one, I mean, a guy just went crazy on you. You lost by 3. Like, it was mad close. You had a chance to get this, and it was mad close. Now, tomorrow, tough. But, yeah, man, even tonight, I wanted to mention Buzelis in his game tonight because I thought he started off good, and then he kind of disappeared. And then
he came back
and did his thing.
Yeah.
And then he ended up fouling out. But I liked the way he played tonight. I thought it was a nice response to the games I've been seeing him have lately. And for him to come out and get 18 points and 6 rebounds. It's the 6 rebounds that stood out to me because that's what I saw more so than anything was the aggression that he was going at the rim, trying to grab those rebounds. And then we saw how many blocks? 1 and 2 of those blocks. Y'all know I want more blocks, and he had 2, and one of them was real personal. One of those blocks was nasty that he had, man. So I love the fact that he did that in 33 minutes and finished with a +3. Like, I like the game he had. He didn't have any turnovers. He shot the ball from the field pretty well. 7 of 13 is solid. 2 of 5 from 3 is also solid. So he had a solid game. I know people might want more, of that, and I just think that just comes with time and things like that. But I like this as a base for Buzelis as how he should be playing in these games going forward. 13 shots is great. 2 of 5 from 3 is great. Couple of blocks is great. 18 to 20 is great. Of course, I would love to see him at the free throw line much more.
Right.
But the fact that he got there 3 times, I'll take. But just overall, though, I thought he had a really solid game.
Yeah, I'm glad that you made a point of pointing out Modest, because I was encouraged by a lot of what we saw from Modest tonight. He had his ups and downs. I mean, that and when he had, like, in the opening minutes of the game was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of stuff that gets you geeked about Modest's potential as a 3-level scorer in the NBA and a dominant one at that. And, he was efficient. You mentioned his shooting splits. That means he was 5 of 8 on his looks inside the arc. And he had some really good, impressive, both strong and crafty finishes around the rim. He also had that baseline drive from left late in the game where he tried to go up and under, which he has pulled off that move before, and that one kind of backfired on him tonight. So, growing pains, learning experience. But you were saying in a recent show what concerned you the most about this mini slump, if you can even call it that for Modest, was just that his minutes seemed to be trending down, especially in the fourth quarter of tight games.
Yeah.
And tonight, Billy had him out there. And then there were more quarters after the fourth quarter, and he did, as Dave said, eventually foul out on a possession where he was left on an island with Lauri Markkanen.
Like, come on.
Okoro had a tough time, and so did Mount.
Everybody had a tough time.
I like that Billy trusted Modest to be out there tonight more so than he seemed to be trending with trusting Modest late in tight games in the last handful.
Yeah, and he wasn't really out there in the end of the fourth quarter, if I recall correctly. Ayo was out there, and then Lauri was just like going crazy, so you had to figure something out there. So a lot of it is going to be matchup based. Billy's been very clear about that. But yeah, I think the minutes are the big thing because that's an indicator of, to your point, Matt, how much Billy is trusting him, how well he's playing. If you're asking me, like, what I want to see more from him, I think the fouls you mentioned, Dave, is a big one. I want to see some more passing, too. Like, he had that one drop-off pass. I think it was to Herder, maybe, or Giddey was his one assist of the game. But it's like, Billy has talked a lot about, like, can we have multiple ball handlers out there so that there's never really someone who's, like, got that entire burden on them, where if you're getting a double team thrown at you, it's not just, like, a bunch of guys who can't create. And can Modest eventually move into a secondary ball handling role? He has not really been in that at all this year. And with Coby back, like, you are going to pretty much have 2 guards on the court, assuming health, with Coby, Ayo, Giddey, and Trey. But I would like to see Modest have more of that. So he's not just a play finisher. Right now, that's kind of his primary role. But can he start to incorporate some more shot creation and some more facilitation out of that creation? That's kind of where I want him to get to. But to your point, Dave, I think that's something that's just going to take some time, and I'm not like pressed about not seeing it, but I do think that like ultimately is what I'm looking for.
And also to your point about the ball handling, we did see opportunities where Billy had Modest bringing the ball up the floor and being defended, though, really well, but still giving him an opportunity to bring the ball to the floor and kind of get into the offense that way. I think that's going to be key, especially if a guy like Trey Jones is still going to be out, in this next game. Like, I think they're going to be looking at guys like Modest, and Modest will have fresher legs because, he fouled out. So he will be looked upon in this next game for sure, and I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity to do something in this next game because of all the tired legs there might be on the Bulls.
Yeah, we should knock out a few more Super Chats that have rolled in. Appreciate all of you. Ryan Smith with a $10 Super Chat saying, what's Billy's extension details? The Bulls continue to lose. Do we start to think about coaching changes, fire in season, or something? There is an obvious lapse in judgment in Billy's coaching. Okay, a lot there. We get it, Bulls Nation. We're not big fans of Billy Donovan. This happens anytime the Bulls lose a handful of games.
True.
You got to blame something. The Bulls defense is terrible. It's Billy Donovan's fault. Could be the roster's fault. But as far as do we start thinking about coaching changes, who do you mean we? Fans? That started 6 years ago with Billy Donovan. Do you mean AK? Because no. Because that is another move that gets AK closer to being the one on the hot seat. If the leader of your basketball ops says, the coach is the problem. This roster I put together is great. Unlimited potential. We're going to be the Pacers of the East. But the Bulls, also in the East. But it's just that the coach isn't right. Guess what? If the results start being the same with the talent on the floor that you've assembled with a different coach, then I start looking in AK's direction. So, no, I don't think AK is thinking about a coaching change. Are AK's bosses thinking about a coaching change? They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea that the Bulls are 6-6. They still think they're 5-0 probably. So, I mean, depends on what you mean by who's we. But do I think Billy Donovan is on a hot seat now? On a seat that's getting hotter now because the Bulls have dropped 5 straight?
No, he's safe.
No. No.
He's fine.
The Bulls would need to bottom out. And not the fun on purpose tanking kind. Like they're trying to win, y'all.
That's not funny.
And in season firing,
yeah.
The last time the Bulls ownership gave a green light to do that, it was Gar and Pax firing Fred Hoiberg and replacing him with the bald-headed menace. How'd that work out? That was your last in-season firing of a head coach.
Also, like, Billy is a really good coach. I know people are frustrated with the outcome of this game, but you have to think about like the big picture and the program that they are trying to install here. And I think that that's something that is easy to forget in the wins and losses and highs and lows of the 82-game season. I think internally this organization is very happy about, okay, they didn't like say we're making the playoffs or we're making changes this year. Like they were very careful to not do that. I think they're very happy right now with the way that things are trending. They're not putting expectations on that. You can criticize that part of it. That's fine with me, but like, I don't think Billy is part of the problem. And I, in fact, think that he is doing a really good job at one, accomplishing the goals that the organization is laying out for him. And two, I think just generally speaking and like objectively, he is a really good coach. He understands how to get the most out of his players. When they were 5-0 and everybody was praising the growth and improvement from Modest and the way that they're changing their style of play, it's like you can't just get so wrapped up in the wins and losses that you fire your coach after every one. That's just not like, you're going to be mad because it's just not going to happen every single game out of 82.
Yeah, agree. I agree with everything you said, but I do agree with him taking the criticism as well as the praise. Yeah. So I agree with both sides of that. Like, yes, he's a really good coach. We know this for sure, but we watched him make mistakes.
For sure.
I've sat here on this
above that.
On the last show with the Pistons. I talked about how I hated the stuff he was doing in the game. Like, no, you get it just as good as I'm gonna give it. You know what I mean? It's about that fairness of it. So yeah, when it's going bad, he's gonna get it. It's just the balance of it. I think is kind of what you're alluding to is the balance.
The balance of it, and also I think just there being more to his job than. Did he use the challenge when he was supposed to use the challenge, or was the lineup combination right at this point in the game? Like that is a part of his job, but I think also like the way that I am interpreting they are building this thing is more similar to a college style program.
Yeah.
Where they're implementing a style of play. They're getting the people to buy into the program.
Yeah.
They're teaching people how to succeed within that program. And they're developing the young players along the way while putting them in situations where they're competing for something in these games.
Yeah.
They're not doing the overhaul thing. They're not doing the tank thing.
Nope.
They're trying to put together as competent a team as they can so that they can put Modest in a situation where he's competing both for minutes and against guys that they're trying to win against every single night. And like we can have a discussion about that. I don't think that's what this is though. I think really at the end of the day, like Billy's just doing a really good job at what the organization, like at the end of the day, he's just doing a good job at what the organization is asking of him.
Okay.
Oh, I see you, Mark K. That's a good one. We also have a super chat from Thomas Banks, $5. Appreciate you saying, as much as the L hurts, looks like the Fro and Flow offense is here. And I loved it. Referring to, of course, Coby White coming back on the floor. He is the Fro. Josh Giddey is the Flow.
I like that.
And that's the other thing to think about if you're looking for a bright spot, a silver lining. But on a night where you had endured this really tough loss, we saw a little bit of the Fro and the Flow tonight. But for the most part, their minutes were staggered.
Yeah.
Because Giddey was starting.
Yeah.
Coby came off the bench. Billy was keeping a tight eye on Kobe's minutes, and it was basically like Josh was out there for the first half of every quarter, at least, and then Coby would usually check in somewhere around the 6.5 minute mark through each quarter to get to 6, 12, 18 and then 24 and then, blowing past it in the overtimes. But so, we didn't see as much of Coby and Josh on the floor together tonight as we are about to once Coby comes back into the starting lineup.
Oh, man, it's about to be OC. It's about to be out of control out here. So we talked about Coby and his injury coming out and playing those 30 minutes. I was thinking about Giddey's ankle, you know what I'm saying, and what that would be to Billy. But when the game gets close, like I said, Billy throws it all into the red. 42 minutes for Josh Giddey out there on the floor. So he was out there playing as well, bro, because he is just too vitally important, to the Bulls offense and the things they're trying to do. So when it comes down to winning and it being that time, I don't blame Billy at all for being like, oh, no, bro, I'm putting my best out here, and you're going to stay out there, with that and seeing if we can get this victory. So, no, I have no problem with all the minutes that he's played or is going to play in the coming next games that he's going to have. I'm just want to see him and Coby White on the floor together. That's all I want to see. And I'm not saying like it's Billy's fault that they aren't on the floor right now. We clearly know it's because of the injury. But I'm just stating what I want to see. I'm excited to see those guys, as my man called it, the fro and the flow offense. I'm excited to see it and watch that so much. I just want, because that's what it's supposed to be built around this year, right? Is those two guys. That's the offense. That's what we talked about in the offseason for so long, talking about what this offense is going to look like with Coby and Giddey, because they kind of start where the other one ends. And where Giddey, is the guy that's going to get those rebounds and get those assists, and he can score. I mean, he had 26 tonight with that, but 9 of 21, shooting from the field. And he's not going to get to the line as much as Coby is going to get there, even though he got there 7 times tonight.
Shout out.
But Coby is the one that is going to create his own shot.
Yeah.
Coby is the one that's going to draw those defenses to him. Coby is the one that's going to hit those step-back threes, and take those shots like that for the team. So that's what I want to see. And also Giddey is the one who will set up and facilitate and get everyone involved and use that rebounding superpower that he has to also keep that offense going. So I just want to see them out there together so we can have more fun.
I think offensively, they really complement each other well. They can cover up for a lot of each other's mistakes. They can play off of one another really well, getting the ball up the floor. I think defensively is where it's going to be an issue, and that's we talked about it. That's just going to be a problem for this team.
Trey Jones,
with the personnel, and even Trey, he's a very good off-ball defender. I think he fights on the ball for sure. Even if he's switching on to bigger dudes, he'll really work. But it's just he's 6'1". He's just not going to be able to be an elite defensive stopper against the highest level offensive players. So they have to do it as a group. They have to really slide over and fill the gaps. They have to send help. They have to just pack the paint on drives to try to take those shots away. But when you do that, you sacrifice other shots, right? You can't take everything away in today's game. You just can't. And so what kind of sacrifices do you have to make? What poison do you have to pick in order to try to put yourself in the best position possible? And that's still a challenge, but that's kind of the game plan. And the bet that they're making is that we can do it that way, that we can deter enough shots at the rim, that we can contest and close out and execute on scrambles and rotations and things like that to be able to at least force contest looks or pass into an above the break three instead of a corner three, and that they can make a living that way. That just has not been the case. And again, the 41 free throw attempts tonight? Yeah. I mean, the makes weren't that different. It was 30 for the Bulls, 34.
Right.
Bulls were more efficient.
But definitely. 32 attempts compared to 41. I mean, it's just
right to the apple, baby.
3 guys in double figures. Free throws.
I mean, shout out to Coby for getting to the line that many times and knocking down damn near every one of them in his first game.
He did 6 in the first half,
dude.
He was on it.
And then, he was 12 of 12 and stepped up to the line to hit 2. Gotta have them free throws.
Got to have it.
Knocked them both down.
There are 2 more players I want to get to, but I know you got to get to these.
And also just speaking of Coby, quick note before we get to the Super Chats. This is from Casey Johnson, who was out in Salt Lake City covering the game. Coby said he felt stronger as the game progressed and that the medical staff, who cleared him for exceeding his minutes restriction tonight, already has told him he won't play in Denver tomorrow. I think everybody assumed that. The hope was Coby can play 3 of these games of 5 games in 7 nights, tonight of which was game 1. So not the back-to-backs, but hopefully he'll play on Wednesday. And then he'll play either Friday or Saturday when the Bulls are back home.
Probably Friday.
AK with another super chat. Appreciate you. You're a hero. $4.99. Bulls took 108 shots to Jazz's 111. How do you see the faster pace and passing as sustainable strength for the season? I think it's a good question. Tonight, I thought it worked in the Bulls' advantage because I think I shouted it out loud at some point on one of the Bulls' possessions in OT where they did get a stop or a turnover, and the Jazz were just running in mud going back the other way.
Yeah.
Like the Jazz were dog tired at the end of that game, and the Bulls were still running. That's what gave the Bulls chances to win that game late, is because they were still running, and the Jazz were sick of running. And you also pointed out at one point, like, the Jazz, that team is slow and plodding. Like, it was like 11, 12 seconds on the shot clock by the time they got into their half-court offense.
That was mostly in like double overtime, trying to like kill some clock. But I mean, the big difference about the field goal attempts, which is a good point, and we haven't talked about that today. To me, it was the turnovers. 9 turnovers for the Jazz compared to 17 for the Bulls. Correct. So that's a big difference there. But you look at like who these teams are. The Jazz are 28th in turnover percentage. They turned it over a ton compared to the rest of the league. And the Bulls are really poor at generating turnovers. I believe they're last in the league. And so it was a battle that, like, okay, even though you're bad at forcing turnovers, you can't get them to cough it up at double figures times. Like 3 players had more free throw attempts than the team had turnovers. Like they have to do, and that's a big part of the defense too. They're not a team that can really pressure up and like gamble in passing lanes and things like that because they don't have an elite rim protector back there. So they do have to play you more straight up, which means they can't be taking risks on reaching and things like that. And that means you're not going to generate as many turnovers. But I mean, this is a young team. They've got 2 players that are on their rookie deals, basically playing point guard, and Collier and Keyonte George. Collier's second year in the league now. Keyonte George is third. But like, you got to generate more than 9 turnovers in a double overtime game if you want to even out that field goal attempt battle, which is a huge deal for how the Bulls are going to win these games.
It's true.
And AK with another super chat, the hero of the night, the goon of the night, were there to be one. $9.99. What? Sean, go back. Saying Billy is not the issue right now. It's roster construction, lacking stud defenders, rebounders to help Vooch and center. P. Will, not that guy. It's the roster.
That's kind of where I was going with the 2 players.
I tend to and I tend to agree with that. And I know it's not a popular opinion among a lot of Bulls fans who think that Billy is this team's biggest problem.
He's not.
He's still not.
No.
It's talent.
Yeah.
Are the Bulls, the Bulls are now 6-6 out of the gate. Are they 10-2 if they have a coach who's better than Billy Donovan? No, I don't think so. No. Because whoever that coach is that's not Billy Donovan, were they going to go out there and stop Giannis? Were they going to go out there and stop Donovan Mitchell? Were they going to go out there and stop Victor Wembanyama? I think he is a coach with strengths and flaws. We know this. We have known this for a while. He's been this team's coach. What is he, the 3rd longest tenured head coach in the NBA right now?
3rd.
Behind Spo and Steve Kerr?
Yeah.
We know. We've talked about Billy's, flaws ad nauseum over the years, it seems.
It's true.
And maybe I think if you really want to get nitty gritty, maybe the Bulls have 1. At most, I'll give you 2 more wins than 6-6 if they have the best coach, who I would say is Eric Spoelstra. Like, maybe.
Okay.
And that's a maybe. I just, talent wins, y'all. Talent freaking wins.
Talent wins everything around me. The 2 players I wanted to mention, let me start with the good. Julian Phillips, I think, deserves some love.
People in the chat were asking why he didn't get more tick tonight.
Yeah, man. He was awesome. And from the moment he got in the game, he was aggressive, man, and he knew his role. And he was attacking the rim, but also when it was time to take those corner threes, he was on it, like every time. 10 points, 4 or 5 from the field, 2 of 3 from the 3-point line. Had a rebound. But you just felt him on the floor. That's what you want from guys who don't get in often. You want to feel them when they're on the floor, like make some kind of impact when they're out there. And those were 10 huge points I thought that he made out there, man, just being aggressive and being scrappy and hitting his threes. Ooh, but that boy, Lee, oh, my man. Lee, I saw Patrick tonight. Lee was out there early. Lee was out there early on, man, but Patrick kind of finished it. He played. Like it was. I was just watching him, and I'm like, oh man, dude. Like I just saw way too much Patrick out there tonight, and not enough Lee. I need more Lee in my life, not more of this Patrick out here. He's got it. He's
saw too much of both of them.
So it's
sorry.
like,
I only played 14 minutes.
Yeah. And it still was the same. It's funny because you can't look at it's so weird because you can't look at the box score and be like, well, I want to see more from that. It's like, no, bro, this is exactly who he's been. Like, this is exactly what he's always been. Whether he's Lee or whether he's Patrick, that's the stat line you're going to get. I get excited when he gets, 5 rebounds. He had 1 tonight. But, yeah, man, it's tough and it's a reason why he wasn't out there until he had to be, until Billy really had no choice for to put him out there in that fourth quarter OT, because you would think that with that size and everything, he would be a guy that you put out there for those kind of situations. But Billy was like, "No, bro, give me Coby. Like, let's go get our thing going on." So good stuff for Julia, man. But Lee's got to show up and tell Patrick to go sit down.
Yeah. And as we won't go long into OT, but just a reminder, if we do skate into overtime, if you want that bonus coverage, if you're watching on one of our various streaming platforms, we appreciate you. Just head to allchgo.com. There are some people with a little bit of reality tea in the chat. Anthony saying talent with a legit superstar wins. The shout out MK Hoops. The Heat have the best coach in basketball and have been nothing but mid ever since losing Jimmy Butler. It's almost as if talent matters in a sport that has 5 guys on the court. Jet Brock's Greg Popovich would have this sorry roster 2 games over 500. Wow, our problems are solved. Yeah, there's some nice perspective. Again, this team got out to an awesomely fun hot start.
Yeah, baby.
I think Bulls fans, you had to know that this team was not 6-1 over a full 82-game season good. They're not.
I think they knew. To be honestly, I really do, Matt. I just think that it's been so long since they've seen that.
Yeah.
That they wanted to bask in it for a while. And I don't fault them for that. Like,
It's also like how it happens.
when you've seen darkness for so long, you see the sunlight, bro. Like, you're like, yay. You know what I mean? The sun is here, bro. Like, no, I don't want to go sit in this darkness again. I want to stand out in this sunlight for so long and tell everybody how good the sun feels on me. Like, it's tough. So I understand that pain where it's coming from. But I get your point, man. I understand what you're saying.
I feel like it's also like how it, like the timing, right? You start 5-0, you're expecting that changes your priors about the team, and it forces you to reevaluate who you think they are as a group and what they can do. If they had started 3-2 and then turned into a 6-6 team, I don't think anybody would be like that freaked out about it.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same if like I thought the Bears were going to win 7 games this year. If they win 7 games this year, it will be probably disappointing for me, even though I would have been probably happy with that to start the year.
Yes.
Because they won 7 out of their first 10. And if they lose the rest of them, then
I'm blaming you.
You can blame me, but we'll both be disappointed because that was the expectation.
Yeah.
So I do think that the timing matters. I made this comparison with the Zach LaVine trade last year too, where it's like you make that trade 3, 4, 5 days before the deadline, and it sets you up to think about, is this going to be a huge deadline now? Are they going to ship out other guys? Are they going to trade for another? Are we going to get some more picks in here? And then you don't do anything. It's like, well, this was a disappointment. But then you look back and you're like, well, actually, they traded Zach LaVine, so they got done what they really needed to get done. Yeah. It's just the timing and the order of it, I think. That's justified in the way that it can change your perception.
South MU still fighting the good fight in the chat. Billy absolutely is the number one issue. I don't care. Look, okay, if I asked y'all to rattle off the last 10 NBA champions and coinciding NBA Finals MVPs, and simultaneously, just as quickly, name the head coaches of said teams and how important. If I took a straw poll of Bulls fans a couple years ago and said, what do you think about Mark Dagnall? They would say, who the hell is that? Come on. Let's be real. Talent wins. Jesus. I'm sick of saying that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Throw the hat.
I am.
Throw the hat if
feel like
you
I
mean it.
Need to bash it into the skull of some people. Gee. Which NBA champion has which top 3 MVP finisher on it every year for the history of time?
Yo,
throw it.
Insane.
Throw it.
He want.
You touched the hat a couple times.
He woosah'd you.
Dude, throw it.
He woosah'd
Throw it.
you.
Now I just know Sean's just trying to get me to break more TVs because he was here to witness it.
Where I removed the.
Oh, no. Sorry, that was when Matt was happy. Oh,
That's
Matt
true.
only breaks TVs
right.
when he's happy.
That's it. Look at.
Throw the hat.
Well done. That's why I love
Jeff Ross
Shaq.
wants it. Throw the hat.
Sean understands wrestling. That's why I like him so much.
Yeah.
He gets it, man.
And look, like again, I'm not the biggest Billy Donovan fan in the world.
Right.
I'm just saying
Correct.
it's all about perspective.
Just
And if
saying
you
it's not
think
all his
Billy is
fault.
the biggest problem with why the Bulls look to be on deck for another year of mid.
Yeah.
Bulls mid.
Yeah.
Look at the mid-level talent on the roster. All right. Well, hey, we live to fight another day.
Anthony Davis.
We got to go do our best in Denver tomorrow night. Although I saw Joker injury report, a little shaky.
Don't
I
tease
saw
me.
Cam Johnson did get upgraded from doubtful to questionable, but like the Nuggets have been hit by the injury bug a little bit too.
Yeah,
Christian
that's
Brown's
true.
out for a while, I think.
Got
Yeah.
another super chat. One more super
One
chat.
more
from AK.
super chat from AK, the super chatty of all super chats. Appreciate you. I love you. AK roster construction strategy is to collect other teams' high, once hopeful lottery picks to help Will feel more at home while praying that star guy comes along. Yeah.
Hey, there's one.
Careful.
Sean.
He didn't break anything, Sean.
It hit the clock.
Hit the other TV.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
I told you.
It's something about Sean being here.
I picked the big one up, and I told you I ain't
Yeah.
worried no more.
That one ain't breaking the
That ain't
TV.
breaking. None of these has it fine.
The chunky one.
The chunky one we hung up and retired.
Which one was it?
That one right there.
It's behind Matt.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, okay.
It
Big
has
old
been.
heavy
It,
joint.
I'm not allowed to
When
throw
I
that
kept
one
taking out the
anymore.
bucket, and
The
it
one
kept
I
going back in.
believe designed by Martellus Bennett.
That is correct. It absolutely was designed by Martellus Bennett.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dope hat, too.
All right. Well, we
miss the best
we got a
things.
quick turnaround because
Look
Bulls
at these games.
action tomorrow night. Although
believe it
everybody
is
try and get your rest because we got to wait until 8 p.m. Central tip off.
Yeah.
We will be here for a live pregame show starting at 7:30 Central, working up to our 9 p.m. tip in Portland in a few nights. But hey. Honestly, like another big test. I hope Joker plays because I want to see what the Bulls can do.
Yeah.
No Coby, so go
Maybe
get
Trey.
him. Go get him, Gideon Co.
Let's see if Trey is out there, baby.
That's right. Y'all follow Will Gottlieb. Read his stuff, allchgo.com. Become a diehard so you can read all of it. The very
All of it,
best
man.
of it.
He's good.
GOAT is the promo code to sign up. Just $36 right now. Incredible value.
That's awesome.
Not just the great coverage and content from GOAT, but all our other credential reporters, all the discounts in the merch store, the events, the hangouts, the tailgates.
Yes.
Big Dave is a bow. BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Shout out to our guy Sean Anderson on the controls. Shout out to you, Bulls Nation, for hanging out with us late tonight. It was good practice. We will see you for pregame tomorrow night at 7:30 Central. Hit the like on your way out if you haven't hit it yet. See you, Red. Be good.
Love y'all. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.